Hello, this is Steve Obridge for another So Live Facebook Live. Today we're doing a live at 5. Again, thank you guys for joining me. I know there's a few people going to pop on now, I'm sure. But for those of you watching replay, again, thank you for joining me. Just want to do a quick shout out to anyone that is watching for the first time. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time out to hear what I got to say. Hey Josephine, Helen, hey, everyone's popping on now. It's awesome to see. Again, when you jump on, if you give me some, love hearts, wows, likes, comments. Again, also feel free to chuck in some questions and so on as we go through if you're on live. Thank you guys for those of you that watched the last 2 Facebook Lives we did, or I did. Really appreciate you taking the time. I'm kind of new to the whole Facebook Live thing. Doing my first one again a couple of weeks ago, again very very pleased, kind of got 1,400 or so views on that one. And then last week seemed to be a really popular message. We got over 3,000 views on how to create more time. So again, if you didn't get to see that one, please go back and review it and by all means share, because I guess it seems to be a popular message. Hey Dorothy, good to see you. And yeah, I know we got a bunch more people gonna jump on. So, what's today's message? So, the title today is why people fail and why you shouldn't have to. I coach and mentor loads of people, and I've done that over many years. And I've kind of identified over time, simple things that people do that cause them to fail. Now, first of all, just to be clear, failing is not necessarily a bad thing. Failing is a good thing, and failing is how you learn. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, failing forward. Failure is positive, really depending on the mindset that you have regarding failure. Okay, hey Shaheen, thanks for jumping on. So it's all about the mindset of when you fail. It's funny. I did a thing with my son once. My son was playing one of these racing games on the computer, and he just kind of crashed on the last corner and got really annoyed with himself because he crashed. He didn't win the game, and yeah, go ahead, Gene. He didn't win the game. He got really angry with himself, like, oh, I can't believe it. I lost the game. I didn't win. And I said, look, and he got a bit frustrated a number of years ago. And I said, look, Micah, winning is good, but losing is learning. Losing is when you learn how to do things better. I said, so what did you learn from this? And I said he was wearing socks on the accelerator pedal of the car, and it slipped off. And I said, you've got to. What did you learn from that? He said, well, I'm not going to wear my socks next time because my foot slipped off and all that kind of thing. And, it was a learning experience, and it kind of became a mantra in our house. I'd say, so winning is good, and he'd say, losing is learning, and it was just something that we learned. And it was all part of me programming his mindset so that he started to see failure or falling over as a learning experience. The great thing about when you do fail at something is that it gives you this opportunity to try again, only this time with more knowledge, more experience, therefore increasing your chance of success. So it's actually a great thing. It's a step towards success. Every kind of failure is a step towards success. For some reason, I've got loads of things on my screen here, so I don't know if you're seeing me with like bunny rabbit ears or something like that. Anyway, hopefully you can't see all of these things. I've got sheep and I don't know what these things are. Anyway, as I said, I'm still learning the whole Facebook Live thing. So why do people typically fail? One of the challenges, I think I should press one of these buttons and see what happens, shouldn't I? You never know. I might take one off. There's a love heart or something. What's that? How does that work? Here we go. Well, that works. Good. Take that off. Cancel. There you go. You look at me. I'm just learning this stuff. I don't know what this flashing thing is on there, but let me see if I can take it off. I don't know if I can. Let me touch that button there. No, is that it? Flashy things. Yes. check me out, Mr. Technical. All right, now you can look at me, and I don't know if that's a better thing, but I can tell you my background is brighter than that image. So why do people fail and you don't have to? Well, one of the things I discovered is that people just really lack having clear goals. Clear, concise mental picture, as we call it. They just haven't got something clear. I ask people all the time, what are your goals? And they say things like, oh yeah, I'd like to get a nicer house. And I say, great, well, what kind of house do you want? And they're like, I don't really know. I mean, a bigger one, I guess. Well, where do you want to have it? I don't know, really, not really sure. So they don't have this real clear, concise mental picture. So lacking clear goals is a big part of failure, of not achieving goals. The second thing is really lacking the desire to achieve the goals, and that's all connected to your emotion. Your emotion leads you to take action, which leads you to success. Okay, you've got to take action. So when you don't connect your goals with emotion, what happens is that you're not motivated to do the things that you need to do. So obviously you've got to have a clear, concise mental picture. You've got to have a clear goal. You've got to connect it with emotion. You've got to have strategy to achieve it. And then the third thing that people don't do is they don't work their butts off to achieve it. So many people are hoping, wishing, praying, talking to God, talking to the universe, talking to, their pet cat, whoever they're talking to. They're talking to somebody or something and saying, oh, I hope I can get this. Or, I've spoken to people who I say, so tell me about your goals. They say, I'm going to be a millionaire. And you say, well, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm not really sure at the moment, but I just believe it's going to happen. I'm convinced. And there's one thing convincing yourself, saying every day, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. So, you've got to get a strategy to enable you to do that, and you've got to work for it. And there's a kind of a reason for that. The part of what you earn is money, part of what you earn is pride, and part of what you gain is experience. And a friend of mine says, don't become the millionaire for the million, but for the person you have to become in attaining the million. It's about becoming a millionaire person with a millionaire mindset and a millionaire work ethic. This is part of personal development. It's not personal development if somebody just dumps a pile of money and goes, hey, good luck. In fact, most times something like that happens, people have lost the money within a short space of time because they've blown it on the wrong things and on all that kind of thing. So one of the challenges is that, and by the way, I don't know if you guys are commenting or something because I can't see anything popping up on my screen. So I'm hoping that is just, oh, there you go. Yeah, you are. You're jumping on and I couldn't see any of these comments. So, hey, if you commented, comment again because I probably missed it. Match your work ethic to your goals. That's right. So there's a saying that the proof of desire is pursuit. So you kind of got to ask yourself the questions. If you say you want to achieve a certain level of success and you're very clear about that goal and you're very clear with the strategy that you need to apply yourself to, the things you need to do to achieve that goal, but you're not achieving that goal, then you have to ask yourself, you have to question your desire. How badly do you want that goal? I mean, I sometimes ask people about their goals and say, well, how badly do you want it? And they go, well, it'd be nice. What if you didn't achieve it? How would that feel? Well, that's just the way life is, isn't it? Well, no, actually, it's not the way life is. The way life is whatever you make your life to be. So you've got to kind of stop making excuses. I mean, so many people have these excuses for, oh, well, I don't have any money, I can't afford to start a business. And I love what Tony Robbins says about this is that, there's no such thing as lack of resources, only lack of resourcefulness. You see, there's always a way to get money if you really, really want to get money. Sometimes we have people that want to come and work with us and they kind of say, well, I don't have any money to invest in any kinds of businesses or whatever. And I say, well, have you got eBay? Have you ever done a car boot sale? Can you get some overtime? There's a way of getting money. If I needed to make, I don't know, £400 or £500 this week, and I needed to do it, for my family or because I was going to get evicted from my house, I'd find a way of getting the money, right? It's just the way it is. You find a way. In fact, most of you are watching now have probably had situations in your life where that was the case. You had this urgency that you had to achieve something. You had to pass a test. You had to, I don't know, achieve a particular thing at work, or hit a target, or get rent paid, otherwise you get kicked out, or your electric kicked off. We've all been through those situations, and yet in certain situations what we did is we rose to the occasion. And it's amazing how we as human beings can do this. We rise to the occasion and we somehow get through it. I spoke to somebody recently who was telling me about the challenges that they're going through right now. And for me, I just like to encourage people. My whole mission really is to help people achieve their goals in reality, not just in theory. Too many people will tell you all the theoretical stuff, and that's great. But theory is great, but facts and reality are what are real. And so I remember this lady said to me, I've just got these challenges. And I said, well, look, one thing I know is this, okay? Every storm, no matter how hard it rages, has a beginning and it has an end, And the choice you have is you kind of stop moving, stay within the storm, and your ship sinks, if you like, Or the other choice is you just got to keep sailing through it. You just got to keep, just keep moving, because every storm, no matter how hard it rages, has a beginning and it has an ending. But if you don't keep moving, you never get to the end. And the crazy thing is, for some of you, the storm that you may be in, the end is just there. It's not, it's tomorrow, it's next week. It's not necessarily as far as you think. It's amazing. There's a saying that you don't know what you don't know. Well, sometimes you don't know that your opportunity is just around the corner. Your miracle, if you like, is just around the corner. The thing that takes you to that next stage in your life is just around the corner. I don't know what it's got to do with what I'm talking about, but I just kind of went off on one there. So, lack of resources. There's always a way to find money if you need it, Lack of time. People often ask, oh, but I'd love to do something different, but I don't have time. And look, I'm sorry, but I just don't accept that as an excuse. We all have the same 168 hours in every single week, unless it's your last week, and hopefully that's none of us, but we have the same number of hours, and yet some people become multimillionaires and some people stay broke. So it's not really about time. And again, if you watch my live from last week, we did a little exercise where we kind of got on the board and we wrote it all out in the wrong kind of way. And I just remember I got my whiteboard here. So last time I used this, it was all the wrong way around. So, okay, I'll give the key points on this. I guess it's the right way now, right? Is it one? Yeah, that's good. Awesome. Okay, so lack of time is not an issue. Again, go back and watch the video last week on how to create time, and that will answer that and take that excuse away. Lack of skills. Well, the thing about skills is skills can be learned. All you have to do is find an expert in the thing you want to do and do what they do. Okay? So oh, I don't have skills. Well, go get some skills. Go find somebody that's got skills and learn the skills, right? It's really a simple solution. Oh, I don't have opportunity. Look, again, I don't accept that. Every one of us comes across opportunity on a regular basis. Now, some are good opportunities, some are bad opportunities, but we get opportunities. Opportunities to learn, opportunities to grow, opportunities to build businesses, opportunities to build our team, our sales force, our friend circle, our network. We get opportunities all the time. And it's about what we do with those opportunities. And, there's a quote attributed to Winston Churchill, and he says that most people stumble across a great opportunity, or most people in life stumble across a great opportunity, then they pick themselves up, dust themselves down, and they continue like nothing ever happened. And that's the problem. You see, we trip over opportunity all the time, but we don't necessarily engage in the opportunity or take the opportunity. I find, I come across people that say, well, I'm just really hoping, believing for a financial breakthrough. And I say, well, actually, I have a financial education business and I can show you how to put certain things in place to become debt-free and financially independent. And you're going to have to do this. It's going to be a bit of work. You're going to learn. You've got to apply yourself. But if you follow the steps, it's going to work. And they go, oh, well, I'm just really busy at the moment. Well, hold on. How badly do you want financial breakthrough? Oh, I'm just not sure. I've tried things in the past and it just didn't really work for me. Well, hold on. So you tried things in the past, different things, so you're going to judge all future things on what they did on the past that didn't work. It's like saying, well, I dated somebody in the past and it didn't work, they broke up with me, so I'm never going to date anybody ever again. Oh, I got married once, so marriage is just not for me. Well, maybe it's the wrong person. You can marry an amazing person. Well, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense? So it doesn't make sense that you should make those kind of decisions based on what was bad. Oh, I did this thing once, it didn't work, so I'm not going to do something again. That doesn't make any sense. So, you know, these are kind of the typical excuses. So how do you kind of, you know, I guess, we said why people fail and why don't you don't have to. Well, you don't have to fail, or you don't have to have that lack of success, because if you apply these things, it has a massive impact to you. So let me give you one example. So one of the things you've got to have is you've got to have a what we call a CCMP, a clear, concise mental picture. You've got to have a clear goal, yeah? So, you have to have a clear goal. You have to write it down. And the great thing about the life we live now with technology and all this sort of stuff, apart from being able to do these kind of things, you know, we can Google everything. So, you know, one of the sayings I use often is that you must become an expert in the thing that you desire. So you've got to ask yourself, what is it I really want? And then you've got to go find out as much as you possibly can about it. And the reason for that is because the more that you know about this thing that you want, this place you want to go, whatever it is, the more you know, the more it kind of is inside you, you know, the more you think about it. It's like you've got to program your mindset for this thing. So, you know, my partner will tell you that every day, you know, she sees me go on to Rightmove, you know, the app on my iPad. I go on to Rightmove and I start looking at my next house and then the next house after that. And I look at all different things. I look at different areas. Where do I want to live? Every day, pretty much, I'm on there saying, what's my next step in life? What's my next achievement I'm going to do? And in our family, we're what I call habitual goal setters and goal achievers. So I ask myself, what is it, you know, we're going to do next? I know kind of what the next car, we just got a new car, but I'm already looking at, well, what's the second car going to look like? What's the car that we're going to replace this one with later? So I look on the Auto Trader app. I'm always looking. And I don't need to move right now, and I don't need to change my car right now. But what I'm always doing is I'm always programming my mindset for the next thing. I'm expecting it. So by the time these things start to happen, they've been expected. You know, you can call it visualization, imagination, dreams, daydreams. You know, I don't get technical about this stuff, you know, the law of attraction, whatever. All I can tell you is when I started doing these things happened. It made a difference, you know. So you've got to have this clear goal. The second thing you have to do is you have to connect the goal with your emotion, okay? Because if you don't connect your goals with emotion, you're not driven to go and get them, okay? The bottom line is that emotion leads you to take action. So emotion, your emotional connection to that goal leads you to take the action that you need to take, the strategy that you need to do to actually achieve that CCMP, that goal. Okay? Let me see like some love hearts and wows or something if this is making sense to you, because I kind of feel like I'm talking to myself a little bit here. So love hearts and wows all the way, please, guys. And by the way, also feel to type a question or whatever, you know. Happy to do that. So you're going to connect with emotion. Now, how you do that connecting with emotion part, okay? So you write the goals down, okay? You write them, and there's a saying that, you know, writing goals down causes them to be specific. So you can't just write wishy-washy. You want to write down something, you know, very clear, you know. And what I tend to do actually is I, hey Franco, I tend to write my goals down on paper, and I have like a goals mind map. And again, there's a whole different thing I'll do about the 9 F's of a balanced life and balanced goal setting and things like that another time. But I write them down. I'll get very clear. I have my goals. You know, Isabel has her goals, and then we have our joint goals, our family goals. So there are different goals for different things. We have business goals, we have income goals, we have savings goals, we have holiday goals. We have got goals for everything. We're a very goal-orientated family. And so what I do is then I put down, in particular, my business goals onto my my phone. and I put them onto and again, this is maybe a bit unusual, but I put them onto the Reminders app on my phone. Okay, so most of you have got a phone, and you've got, you know, like a Reminders in there. You know, on Apple you got normal, what's called Reminders. So what you do is you put reminders, and what I do is I set an alarm for myself once in the morning, once at night, and inside the reminder I write out kind of just a little paragraph about, I'm going to do this, this, this. I'm going to achieve this. This is I'm the kind of person that likes to do this, or is this. And, you know, a little bit about the reward I'm going to give to myself and my family when I achieve that. So I do that. Now what happens is the alarm goes off every day, twice a day, once in the morning, once at night, and then I read it, okay? And I don't want to say I do this every day out loud, but I read it every day. But most days I read it out loud. And you say, well, so why do you read it out loud? So the number 4 thing is read. This pen's terrible. Read it out loud. Let me try a blue one. Read the goal out loud. You might say, well, Steve, that seems a bit stupid. You know, reading your goal, I understand. Why do I need to read it out loud? Because, you know, I'm going to feel pretty stupid reading my goal out loud, you know. Well, first of all, you're not going to feel stupid when you achieve your goals, okay? So don't worry about feeling stupid about that. The second thing is there's a reason to read it out loud. Number one, because there's a saying, faith comes by hearing. The more you hear something, the more you believe it, okay? And when you speak something out, you get to hear it too. The other thing is that when you just skim read, when you read without reading out loud, you tend to skip words. It's just how our brains work, right? So you skip words, which means you're not getting the whole full force of that statement, okay? So by reading out loud, you read every single word and you hear every single word, all right? So that's why reading it is really, really important. You know, I'm not going to go into the whole thing about strategies and why you need a strategy. I mean, another day I'll talk to you about how to make $1 million, you know. There's a very simple strategy to make £1 million. Well, maybe I'll talk about it. Depends. Let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. Okay. The next thing, of course, is number 5. Oh, that's better. Is you have to work. I know this. You didn't know I was going to write a dirty word on the board today. A 4-letter word. Look, you have to work. It's just the way it is. If you want to build a business, the clue is that you have to build it. You know, you can't wish a business. You know, you have to build a business. When you see people that have been successful, and you see them, that, you know, I'm sure you've heard this phrase before, that, oh, look at that guy, he made it. Oh, he's a guy that made it big. You know, he made it. Well, the clue there is in the word he made. It didn't say he magicked it. You know, he wished it. He made it. You make it happen. You've got to remember that it's not about making excuses. And one of the last thing really is that you've got to have the right mindset. So I'd encourage you to get things just with the right mindset. You know, it is really simple. Something I was talking about in a team, I did a seminar today, and I talked about how in our business, and this is probably true for your business too, that you've got 2 sides, okay? You've got, you know, skill set, and then you've got mindset, right? Skill set and mindset. And skill set, the great thing about skill set is skills can be learned, okay? The thing about mindset, the great thing about mindset is a mindset can be developed. So if you know that you need a good skill set and a good mindset, or the right skill set, or the right mindset for success, so you aren't someone who fails consistently at things, well, the great news is you've got to figure out the skills you need and learn them. And once you learn them, then you can apply them, okay? So you learn the skills, then you apply them. Now, the mindset part is because that's the thing that keeps you going to actually do the learning, okay? Because sometimes, first of all, well done to all of you that are on here. I know, you know, it's great to see. I've got people I've met recently, and I've got Bex on there that I've known since I was a teenager at school. So it's awesome to see some of you guys on here, and it's kind of cool to kind of connect with people through here. I'm enjoying it. So you've got to learn. You know, you got to learn, and then you apply those skills. And also, it's a great idea to have someone to mentor you, because, you know, there's a few kind of key things that really help you to not fail, okay? One of them is having what's called accountability. You need accountability. Oh, I've written off the board. Okay, you need accountability. You need to, I just realised I could turn my light down a bit. No, didn't help. You need someone that's going to hold you accountable. And the way I work, with my team is I say, listen, I can be the kind of coach that you say, Steve, just give me a call. I'll give you a call when I need you. I'll just get on with it. I'll have a go and I'll pick up the phone if I need help. Great. Some people say to me, Steve, I want to hold myself accountable to you on a daily basis, and I give you permission to kick my butt and help me achieve my goals. Either of those is fine, but I don't know if you can guess which one works the best. What would you say? Have a guess which one of those works the best. Getting on with it and just asking when you need help, or making yourself accountable so that somebody can kick your butt every now and again. What would you say works the best? Again, comment, chat, whatever. I can tell you the answer. It is the second one, right? When you make yourself accountable, there's a power in that. And it's not that someone has to be like a boss to you. My team are not accountable to me as if I'm their boss. I am their coach. Yeah, coach. Shaheen said, me bugging you every hour. You see, that's a key point, right? Remember, it's not me bugging someone in my team every hour. It's my team bugging me. I'm completely good with that, As far as I'm concerned, if my goal is to help you achieve your goals, then you calling me, texting me, Facebooking me, WhatsApping me, whatever medium you choose, to say, Steve, how do I do this? Steve, what do I do now? Steve. I have no problem with that, because if I do, then my goal really isn't to help you achieve your goal. My goal is to help you at my convenience. I understand that to achieve my goals, I need to pay a price too. Again, another clue. You need to be prepared to pay a price. And that's part of getting the strategy. Again, we kind of on the other page. Also, again, when I do a goal setting one, I'll go into more detail about this. But when you've got a strategy, you have to understand what the price is, and then ask yourself if you're prepared to pay that price. So often we've got a goal, we figure out the strategy and we go, oh, that's not doable for me. That's not going to work. Well, in that case, it's a bad plan, it's a bad strategy, or you have to change some of the parameters, So being accountable is a really important part of that, You have to kind of learn to put your ego to one side. There's a lady called Danny Johnson that says, you have to learn to weigh your ego against your bank account. Now I know a lot of stuff, I've had a level of success, I could say, but I recognize that I just know like this much stuff. This is not a lot. I mean, there's like this much, not even on the screen, there's this much to learn. There's this much I could know, but I only know this. But the great thing is, this is enough to make 6 figures. This is enough to make a big impact, And when I know this much, then I'm going to make a bigger impact. And when I know this much, I'm going to make a bigger impact. I understand the power of impact, and the impact determines your income. I understand that the way you make a bigger impact is by using the power of leverage, And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask me, So weigh your ego against your bank account. If you're not prepared to learn, which again, probably not you guys, because you're on here saying, hey, I want to learn. But maybe share this with someone that maybe doesn't want to learn, Maybe they won't watch it, maybe they will, and this will be the light bulb moment for them that says, oh, okay, I need to learn stuff. But you need to weigh it, because if you're not prepared to learn, so many people are out there that are talking the talk, they're talking the big game, they're standing by Ferraris, pretending that they're theirs. One thing I can promise you, whatever you see on my Facebook is me. It's my life. It's where I live. It's what I drive. It's where I holiday. I don't green screen it. On my apart from on videos and green screens and stuff. But it's real. It's authentic. It's genuine. I'm not out to make myself into something I'm not. I'm a guy with a level of success that's impacting many other people. And I'm very proud of that, the thousands of people that that I've impacted, particularly when you know that I came from £95,000 of debt, struggling, doing it all wrong, plus, you know, many other kind of challenges. So I'm proud of where I am, but I also recognize I'm just nowhere, you know, right now. I've got many places to go, and people to help, and success to inspire, and so on and so forth. So, gosh, that's almost about time. So I don't want to keep you guys on all night. It's Saturday night, and hopefully you're getting some downtime and enjoying. Unless you're on replay, and then you've had your Saturday night, and you're recovering tomorrow morning. So just to wrap it up then, really, you know, people fail for all these kind of reasons, you know. The reason why you don't have to do that is you can just decide that you want to do it differently. You can decide you want to apply these kind of principles that we talked about. You can work on your skill set. You can work on your mindset. You can start understanding the power of being a goal setter, goal achiever. Immerse yourself in that kind of stuff, you know, and just develop your mindset, develop yourself. I'm not saying go and spend, you know, hundreds of thousands on mentors and stuff. You know, there's loads of stuff you can pick up for free on things like this, Facebook Lives. There's loads of stuff you can get on, like, you know, YouTube channels. Again, by all means, check out my YouTube channel. There's some things on there about, I don't know, budgeting and basically how to be smarter with money and many other things. And also, by the way, you know, I kind of take requests as well. So if you if you've got anything you think, hey Steve, can you tell us about this? If it's something I feel I've got a credible knowledge on or experience on, then by all means, I'm happy to do some lives on that for you. Remember this, you know, winning, quitting, losing is a mindset. You know, funny enough, I've got this t-shirt on today. Quitters quit, losers lose, winners win. I created this t-shirt one time because people were kind of making excuses and, oh, that person quit. And I said, well, that's okay, good, fantastic. And people said, well, why? Why is that fantastic they quit? I said, because it's better they quit sooner rather than later, right? Because if someone's going to quit on you, let them quit now. Before you spent 50 hours training and developing them. Let them quit now. When someone quits, yes, they've quit early. Woo! Didn't have to spend too much time with that, with someone who's got a quitting mentality. See, winners, they work through challenges. Winners are solution orientated, not problem orientated. Winners, they don't complain or bitch or moan. They find solutions. Quitters just quit eventually. I mean, they might not quit at the beginning, but they'll quit eventually because that's their nature. Losers are going to lose because that's their nature. Winners are going to win because that's their nature. You get to decide your nature. You get to decide, are you a winner, a loser, a quitter? And I hope that all of you who are watching this decide, I am a winner. I remember watching a boxing match. It was Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. And that shows my age, I know. But it was a big fight. I mean, it was like the biggest fight going on, you know, at the time. And it was just this big energy. I mean, the controversy, it was huge. And then what happened is, I remember there was an interview with Evander Holyfield. And they interviewed him and they said to him, so, you know, what about if you lose the fight? You know, what about if you lose? He said this, he said, whether I win or lose the fight does not change the fact that I am a winner. That's just who I am. I hope that you just have, or at least develop that mindset that you are a winner. That's who you are. You know, one last story just popped in my brain. I spoke to my son one day. They're doing human reproduction at school, right, in the last term. And so he came home and he said he did human reproduction. We talked about it and he was asking me all these questions and I had to answer questions about, you know, how the sperm or the little tadpole, right, you know, they race. Millions of these things race towards this egg. And the one that gets there and that gets to the egg first, you know, that's the one that you know, wins and becomes a baby. And so my little boy, who was 9 at the time, he just said, so basically what you're saying is, I'm a winner. Yes. So I beat millions and millions of other tadpoles to be the winner. Yes, you know. And so, but if that goes for him, that goes for you too. You're a winner. Yes. Have an awesome week, guys. Thank you. Please like, share, follow, do all the kind of things that you're supposed to do on these things. Like I said, I'm an amateur at this, so I'm just you know, I'm sure you know what to do more than I do. So have a fantastic weekend, and yeah, take care. Bye bye.